Loneliness in Canada is a thing. Like, it's
Period.
not.
Loneliness does not equate to singleness. Loneliness does not mean that you are bored. Loneliness is a state of mind.
See, when you come to Canada, you're going to learn yourself.
Hey!
Like, if you don't know yourself, when you come here, you will learn yourself.
And that's not to scare you.
That's not to scare you, because back home in Nigeria, like, there are certain things I didn't know my endurance level to certain things. But when I moved here, I realized how strong I am.
A lot of the time when Africans complain about loneliness is because we're trying to benchmark what we experience here with what we've always known.
I try to at least make it a priority. When I feel too lonely, I know that gym is an option.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to another vlog. Whew, back-to-back vlogs. Right now, I just finished prepping because I'm waiting for Mara. For those that do not know her, Mara Adibe, you'll be seeing her shortly. She helped me order some stuff, so she's going to stop by to drop them. But I told her that would be having a little conversation on the channel. I wanted us to just talk about loneliness in Canada, and I think that is going to be a bit helpful. We'll also try to share like tips on how to navigate all of these things, or what we did to settle in better. And yeah, I wanted to just start this intro before Mara gets here. Hi guys, I have Mara finally on the channel again. There was a conversation that I kickstarted last week on loneliness, and I mentioned that I wanted to have someone join the conversation so that we can give you guys perspective from because currently I'm not schooling, but Mara is still in school and then she works on the side. I wanted us to talk about loneliness, if we ever get lonely, if we've ever been lonely in Canada, and how we cure the loneliness. Why are you looking like
if we've ever been lonely, I'm like, can I start shouting? Can I start talking? Because it's not even about if we've ever been lonely. It's a fact. Honestly, I don't want you to feel like it's a cliche, like when you hear us talk about this thing, or people are just saying the same thing or repeating the same thing. Loneliness in Canada is a thing. It's not made up. Like, it's not like people are just saying it because they want to say it.
Because people are single.
It's not about
so people take it out of context. Yes, people are lonely. People just automatically start thinking, oh, because you are single. Because someone was asking me if she should get married before coming to the country because of the whole loneliness thing. I'm like, it's really not about your marital status. Hi guys, how are you guys doing? I just got back home now and I saw 2 comments on my YouTube and I wanted to quickly address it. So that's why I think this is going to be like a break from the conversation myself and Mara was having, just because I'm trying to clear some things out. Let me wear my microphone. Based on the conversation, the loneliness conversation that we're having, I want to put some context to the conversation. When people mention loneliness in Canada, I think people just automatically think it's because you are single. And it doesn't make sense to me, because it's like we're talking about loneliness generally, and it spurs out of the fact that some of us are used to living with family and friends, and even if not living with them in the same house or apartment, but maybe not living too far away from them. And just that communal living that we have back in Africa, we don't really have that here. Like, we don't have people to talk to or to relate with. A lot of us are first generation immigrants, so it's like you are the first person that left everything to come to another country to settle. Okay, that's like the picture that we are painting here. It's not necessarily because you're single, because guess what, a lot of married people in Canada are also lonely. They also complain about loneliness. A lot of them complain about depression. A lot of them have to go see therapists just for them to be okay. And then gosh, what bugs my mind the most is when I see insensitive comments. It pisses me off. So there was this comment that I got early in the morning and I wanted to just address it. So someone dropped a comment and I'm going to leave it on the screen. So the person said, "You African ladies come on social media to complain of loneliness in Canada, yet you'll be forming for your fellow African brothers." I'm like, this person must be really retarded, because if not, oh my gosh, it's just very surprising when you see some things that you don't expect to see in 21st century. These are the kind of people that forces people to get married, not because of compatibility, not because they are financially ready to settle, but because they feel like you are ripe for marriage and you should be married. And these are the same set of people that will go online to bash you when your marriage is over, when you file for divorce, when you complain that the man is maltreating you, or that the woman is not, being okay in the home or whatever. Like, they're still the same people that will come online to bash people. I'm like, How do people think? And then another lady dropped a comment. That's for you guys to know that you don't downplay this loneliness conversation that people say. And it's crazy because a lot of you guys will come on social media to say, and yes, I am ranting, a lot of people will come on social media to say, voice out, speak up. When you think you need help, speak up, let us know how we can help. And then people come on the same social media to complain about their level of loneliness, boredom, depression, and whatnot, and you still come online to bash them. Make it make sense. I saw a comment from a lady, I think she's a lady, that says, I am very close to packing my things back to Nigeria. It's my parents and siblings that keep pushing me to stay. Loneliness is an understatement. Sometimes I don't know if I am going crazy with the way I talk to myself and the nasty thoughts that run through my mind daily. Life just doesn't mean much these days. So empty and not fulfilling. And do you know the crazy thing about this is that this comment I just read out and the previous one I read out, they came in almost at the same time. So I woke up to see the two messages. What the hell? Like, you don't downplay people's state of mind, especially when they are. It takes a lot to actually cry out and be vulnerable enough to let you know how people feel. It takes a lot for them to come out and be vulnerable, to let you in their space and let you understand their state of mind at the moment. Not you just coming out to just say nonsense. Anyway, that's what I wanted to quickly touch on. And I know it might make this video feel a lot longer or something, but I just needed to clarify it. See, loneliness does not equate to singleness. Loneliness does not mean that you are bored. Loneliness is a state of mind. It is when you don't have people to interact with daily. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of us that have people that we interact with daily. Like, I can reach out to my friends, but you have to also understand their schedule. A lot of the time when Africans complain about loneliness is because we're trying to benchmark what we experience here with what we've always known. I think that that's where our mind should be going to when we talk about loneliness. Okay, thank you so much, and please enjoy the rest of the video.
No, really.
So yeah,
because some people are married and they are still lonely. I mean, they might have like personal issues that have led to that. I mean, how do we even define loneliness in this context so that we can talk in that line?
So the way I'm describing loneliness now is not necessarily you living alone,
Okay.
but just that mental state or what that mental feeling of you being by yourself, even though you're amongst a lot of people. Yeah. And
exactly.
Of course, a lot of the immigrants that I have on the channel and my friends were Africans. So the way our community is back home is different from how it is here. I was talking to someone on the bus recently. She's a Canadian. And asked me for some weird reason. I think she probably saw the videos going on the internet, and I said, oh, do you ever feel lonely? I'm like, yes, I do feel lonely. I'm like, is it not weird that I've been in a place for over a year and I've never spoken to anyone in the building? Like, this is a building with maybe like 10 apartments or something. I've never. I'm like, it's so crazy. And I'm grateful because I have a housemate that is African as well, and we communicate, like, not really because everybody's busy, but you still tend to like can relate on some level, and with maybe different conversation happening back home. But it's worse for people that are living with people from other continents. And you can't necessarily have conversation with them.
So another thing is that loneliness here is actually born out of the nature of this place and how this place is structured, right?
Absolutely.
And you're not in your home country, so you can't see people that look like you all the time. You see mostly people that have different mindsets compared to what you had coming here. They are not always willing to maybe be in a conversation, or like they might engage in a conversation, but after that, people are moving ahead. Like, do you understand? Because sometimes we Africans, we always like want to build a relationship. You talk to somebody, you want to continue that conversation or whatever, build a relationship. Most people here that are here, born here, they don't have that mindset. They want to be nice to you when they meet you, but they're not really interested in maybe keeping it. So you have to find your own people. You have to find your own community. You have to find the people that, do you understand? Resonate with like what you feel, and people that have that same orientation coming from Africa, right? So those are the type of people you need around you. If you come here, you're going to be lonely, but make it intentional. Make it very intentional to make friends. I said this in a video one time. You know how you are very intentional about your goals in life? That is how you're going to be intentional about making friends here. Because if not, you're going to be by yourself. Nobody's going to come to your door and knock. But sometimes people are actually willing to help, but you just have to be willing to go to them. For me, I was telling Yemisi that recently how I've been trying to cure loneliness is by going to church.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm very busy. I work from Sunday to Friday. Sometimes Sunday is like the day that I have to just take care of myself. But I find that when I spend all that hours at home, it doesn't help my mental state. I would rather go to church, spend 2 hours and come back and just meet people, connect with people. And you're coming back, maybe you cook. Before you know it, the day is over, you're resting, you're going back to work the next day. It's overwhelming because you have to keep working. And another thing about it is that even when people want to be there for you, they might not really always be there, right? I have close friends here, and sometimes it's hard for us to communicate because they are working. Like Yemisi is working Monday to Friday, right? It's a different dynamics for her. Myself, I work Monday to Friday, but because I'm a student, so it's on a part-time level, I can work on a Tuesday, half day, and then I have the rest of the day to myself. I can't be calling her by 2 when I know she's working, even when I'm down, right? She's not going to be in that state too. So even when I reach out to my friends, I'm like, oh, I need your help. She's always going to be like, oh, I have to call you when I'm done with work. And imagine you need someone at that time. It's not like back home that you call this person and you know that is available because they're business people.
You can even show up at my door without calling me. Try it for you.
You try to say you won't see anybody, right? You call somebody, and because back home most people are business people, they are self-employed, they can make out that time and talk to you. But most of us as new immigrants, we are employed, we are answerable to authorities. So there are things that we can't just do, and you can't hear, like, you know, when they talk about working in Canada, work experience in Canada, Canadian work experience is a big thing because they have a culture and you must follow it. You can't be answering calls, you can't be chatty, you can't be doing. So even if your families are like needing you at that moment, you might not really be there for them. So you as a person, you have to pick your fight. Like, you just have to find what works for you. And then recently I started going to the gym too. So if you're a student, I know that gym membership comes freely, like for schools, for U of R and some other schools. So you can just start going to the gym. Yeah,
because you already paid it, I think.
You already paid it in tuition. So it's also a way, like, it's my experience. So that's the way.
And I'm glad she's talking about it from a student perspective. So if you're a student or if you're a prospective student, then you should learn from that.
So it's not always easy because sometimes I have a lot of academic work, but I try to at least make it a priority. When I feel too lonely, I know that gym is an option. Even if I go there and I'm not talking to everybody, but I see people working out, it just also inspires me. And by the time I'm done working out and come back, I'm not thinking about loneliness again. I'm thinking about how I want to rest my head. For the next day. So my point here is be intentional about making friends and pick your fight. Find what works for you. Find how you cope. Like, see, when you come to Canada, you're going to learn yourself. If you don't know yourself, when you come here, you will learn yourself.
And that's not to scare you.
That's not to scare you, because back home in Nigeria, like, there are certain things I didn't know my endurance level to certain things. But when I moved here, I realized how strong I am. So it's a lot about your mindset. A lot about your mindset is going to change. So loneliness too, I'll just conclude by saying it's also a lot about mindset. If you keep telling yourself you're lonely, or you keep letting that thought of being lonely consume you, I'm telling you, even if you have 1,000 people around you talking to you, you're always going to feel that way. So just remind yourself that it's a phase and you're in a different environment that is not what you used to be in, right? So you have to adjust. Like, you can't expect what worked for A to work for B. You have to adjust. You have to adjust your mindset. You have to know that it's a phase, right? And you just have to go through it, knowing that it's a phase, and you're gonna be fine. Okay, it will come, but you will be fine. Just know you'll be fine. Okay, don't let it consume you.
No, thank you, Mara. I don't know if I should also add this. If you know that you are a student, you're coming in as a single applicant, I would also advise that when you're looking for apartments, try to look for a shared apartment.
Very true.
Or you try to look for apartments in the school, like hostel. I think that will also help because in a way the school has a lot of things at your beck and call. So it's easier for you to at least see people and maybe move around and all of that within a safe space.
Exactly.
So that will work. For 100%. People that are coming in as permanent residents, you're not a student and you're coming in as a worker, or maybe just on PR, but maybe you have a family or you don't have a family, you are single. I also advise that you try to engage with people within your familiar territory. So when it comes to culture, so for example, like I said in my other video, try to volunteer, go to Regina Open Door Society, Saskatoon Open Door Society, or whatever Open Door Society you have in your province or city. Reach out to people. Also share your fears, because
Yes.
sometimes people listen to you, right? Like, we have a lot of consultants in those organizations that are willing to help you out as well. When you are looking for a job, talk to people. Don't live an isolated life. You cannot even help you in this country.
Honestly,
If you live an isolated, if you live an isolated life, you would be missing out on a lot.
For sure,
On
I can tell.
So speak up, go to church. If you're a Christian, go to mosque. If you're a Muslim, and just engage with people, reach out to people. The only problem with people reaching out to me is the fact that I'm not able to go out as much lately, especially now it's even cold. But to an extent, I can always try to help, like explain some things to you and all of that. Because what she was saying about engaging with people to help you, even to littlest things like getting food stuff. People will let you know where you can get cheaper stuff.
Exactly.
You know, and then maybe for your children, the best school to attend and all that. Because if you ask me that question, I cannot tell you.
Yeah, we have YouTubers too that are like here with their kids. You can.
They will also help and all of that. So I hope that we've helped in our own little way. I wanted to drag her here so that we can talk from different perspectives, and I'm glad that we can do that. So right now we are heading out, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. Heading to Biakamore to get some nice stuff.
Yes, guys.
And watch God make a way. He'll make a way. No more worrying about my yesterday. 'Cause my God, he'll make a way. See, I ain't talking about what I heard. Yeah, this one is personal.
Okay guys, so I wanted to sign out because I need to start editing this video as usual. Today's Friday. You guys will see this video in 2 days time, hopefully, because I'm just recovering. I felt ill during the week, and I'm even grateful for life. See, sound health is underrated though. Thank God for life. Thank God for sound health. I'm so grateful for all my friends that have reached out to check up on me. Thank you guys so much. I feel a lot better, and I can now eat. Like, guys, I could literally not eat. It was that bad. But I feel a lot better now. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.